And welcome back to Contract Questions from Clients. And today we have Sam joining us. And Sam, one of the questions we get from clients is, why would I want an arbitration section?
Yeah, this is something that we get pretty commonly. Really, I see three areas of value in arbitration, and that's confidentiality, certainty, and speed. From a confidentiality standpoint, courts are government institutions, and therefore most hearings and filings are public record. On the other hand, arbitration is essentially a private contract to resolve a dispute. And because of that, there's no public stance regarding the arbitration itself. And then there's only public filings if you're like disputing an award or something like that you file in a court, which is great. As far as certainty goes, there's no juries, and that is incredible because juries are a wild card. And on top of that, your arbitrators are going to be well versed in the field that that's the subject of the arbitration. Typically, they're going to be lawyers or judges, but either way, they're going to have appropriate education, credentials, things like that. And then regarding speed, you can define in the arbitration agreement certain time frames, including discovery periods, to really to make the arbitration itself impactful. And then on the back end, with appeals, there's a really limited right of appeals regarding arbitration unless you agree to a broader appellate range. So you can really condense the time frame and get done with the resolution quickly.
Perfect. And Michael, do you have any thoughts?
First, one misnomer that you'll hear sometimes is people have the perception that arbitration is less expensive. And you got to be careful there because they can be quite expensive, just like regular litigation. So I wouldn't make the decision, based on that. And then the other thing is just to be really careful when you select who the arbitrator will be, so that you do have someone that's making the decision that's educated in whatever type of dispute you have. You can get some quote bad arbitrators just because they may not have a familiarity with your particular business or type of business.
Yeah, and the one other thing I want to add is sometimes people confuse the terms mediation and arbitration. They think it's the exact same thing. Mediation is something where the two parties come together, try to come up with a resolution, and is non-binding. While arbitration, the final arbiter, when they finally come up with a judgment, it is binding. So make sure you understand that that's not just like a regular mediation. Arbitration has a binding element to it. But I think that's all the time we have today, and I appreciate you joining us. Sam, thanks again for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.